2v2 actually, replay analysis for Landshark Diamond 1. Their advice is, I just want to learn if there's anything better I can do, rotation boost management wise. Because in the game, I felt like I played super well, but my teammate just missed 2 wide open shots on net. I passed the ball to him when I could, and I bumped the last man in net to get it open, and he just couldn't hit the shot. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go. See what it is. Okay, so you start off fine. Probably not the greatest hit ever. Probably could have hit a bit more middle. That way it would have been able to maybe follow it up with a double tap, potentially. But in the end, it gets to your teammates, so... And you put it in. So, that was a good pass from him to begin with. Not the greatest kickoff, I'll just put that out there. Main problem is that you side flip to the right, so you end up hitting the ball to the right, and really you're pretty lucky this could have gone a lot worse. And you also rotate the complete wrong side. So, what you should be doing here, once you've grabbed this boost, well, it's pretty questionable that you'd even be grabbing the boost to begin with, but, you know, whatever. You've grabbed the boost, you should be darting over to the opposite side of your teammate, not over here, driving along the wall. That means if the opponent had gotten a clean hit, you would have been anywhere near a good position to save it. And you just closed up the angles for yourself. I hope this is not one of the open nets you described. We'll just see where this ball is going. Okay. If that was one of the open nets you're describing, then you're completely out of line. If it isn't, then that's all fine, because what you did here was power hit it away from your teammate. If you had just made a simple one tap hit, like just simply tapped it forward, easy goal. Instead you just power hit it, and your teammate's going as fast as he can here. He has no option. He physically cannot get to that ball in time. No matter how fast they are going to get to that when it's just power hit away from them. And that's on you as well. V-flip. Let's see. He didn't make a great save attempt either, but you didn't either. So this is both of you, really. Like, sure, he doesn't hit the ball, but you may as well not have, judging by the end result, because that's just pretty subpar. Well, okay, we'll just break it down, because in the end, this is your mistake. You're the one who hit it. Sure, V-flip hacks may have whiffed it, but whatever. You hit it away from him, so doesn't matter. Moving on to you. Well, main problem is that you turn in to begin with, so you're right under the ball. What you want to be doing for these clears is you want to be hitting them to the corner, so you want to be coming from the side. You should have ran wider, and then you make it worse by just hitting it like that instead of getting under the ball and trying to pop it up. So, 2 big mistakes, and then you don't let yourself land. You try to fight it, waste your last 60 boosts on nothing, and let it in. If you had just let yourself land, then you might have had a chance to get a second save. But yeah, if that was the open net you're describing, that is not his fault whatsoever. You hit it away from your teammate. But moving on. So, you make a decent kickoff, but it doesn't really matter when the opponent just completely whiffs it. Seems like he forgot to flip. And yeah, nicely froze for me. So that's a goal. So, easy. Anyway, you grab a boost. Yep, that's fine. Wave dash, get yourself some speed. I like that. That's fine. You just had to wait. Good patience. Now, main problem here is that you don't run wider, and you almost let that in. What you should have done is run wider, take it up this wall, and take it downfield. Because at the moment, your opponent closest to you doesn't have any play on the ball. You could have just gotten it straight around him and this wouldn't have happened. It's fine, you're just waiting, they've got ball control, whatever. Okay. And you get demoed. You were very slow, to be fair. You pretty much presented yourself as an open target once you turned away from this. You should be going for that. No problem. No reason why you shouldn't be going for that. Teammate, get speed. That's fine. You're there. No fear. But then you do this, and this is just going to be worse, yeah. You're very lucky your opponent actually helped you there. You do this fine, but then you fail to keep on driving along the wall to catch the ball. You drive the other side to prioritize the boost, and then you do this, and then you luckily get saved by your own opponent somehow. So, okay, your teammate screws up a wave dash attempt. That's fine, no fear. He attempts an open net. He misses. Alright, so we'll say this. Now, I hope this isn't the second situation where you said you gave him. Oh no. Okay, so this isn't one of the situations. You passed it to him. Alright. Okay, so this is a wide open shot. We'll be honest here. This was wide open. But it definitely wasn't great. Was that from your perspective? Yeah. Oh no, that's your perspective. So yeah. While it was in essence a wide open shot, we'll actually look at his perspective, what he was saying. That isn't your teammate, that's your teammate. Okay, so you give him a pass. Bang. Okay, main problem is he hasn't turned on ball cap. He probably thinks this is in. He's not shooting. That's just a misjudgment by him in the end. He, by what he's doing here, just by what he's doing, he thinks this is in. That's his mistake in the end. Fair enough. A bit of an idiot move by him. But in the end, it's nothing bad like you haven't done already this match, so yeah. That's fine. You get 50-50. Oh well. But yeah. Just by his behaviour, he was thinking that was him. So, you know, not the worst mistake to make ever. At least he didn't completely whiff it. He didn't whiff it. He just thought it was in. And it almost was in. He's probably pretty unlucky it didn't go straight in. But anyway, moving on from that. This is you in the end, not him. So, well, main problem is that you jump way too late, you react way too late, and your teammate's there to save your ass. So that's what they're there for. Sorry for hitting the mic. Alright, so you wait. That's fine. You don't go for it. Flippax does. Main thing is he doesn't give himself a wide enough angle, so he just hits it off to the side. Oh well. Main problem I'm having with you though is that you turn off your ball cam for a full 3 or 4 seconds and you don't know what the hell's going on. This could have been coming right at you and you wouldn't have known until you turned your ball cam on. And why you even rotated back this far? Like, let's just assess this. Look, mid boost right there. Go for it. Don't turn it all the way around, grab one small boost, one large boost, and have to restart your attack. And really, I'd say if anything, this was an open net for you. It definitely was. You came in from the wrong angle. That's open. You hit that with flip hit, and that's it. They're not getting back to that. And yeah, I don't know why the hell you bumped your teammate there. Why didn't you go for the large boost, really? I hope that wasn't any sort of retribution in your righteous mind. But anyway, moving on from the toxic stuff. That hopefully wasn't toxic. I always hope for the best. Alright, so, okay, credit to you. That was actually pretty good clear. You didn't put yourself in the best position to begin with because you rotated in near, and you didn't stay here where you should have been. You went in close to the wall, and that was pretty bad. But, hey, you fix up your mistake, and you get it back out. So, you know, that's fine. We'll see what Flippax does here. Alright, so it looks like he's waiting for something. Oh no. Okay, so he went AFK. Why was that? Internet? Let's just see real quick. There's no internet problem. Is this in? Okay, there was an internet problem. He was having ping issues. There you go. Okay, so he was having severe ping issues, probably packet loss, latency variation, whatever. In the end, I can't really blame him too much for that. You can't fix ping issues that bad. But anyway, looking at you, seeing as you're the one who let the goal in ultimately, well, that pretty much settles that. There, you prioritize boost over ball, you hit it into you give a very nice pass to your opponent, and they put it straight in. I'm sure they appreciated it. But yeah, what you should be doing is going for the ball first. In the end, you should know that your teammate's AFK, at least for AFK, quote unquote, ping issues. But, you know, you should know that, and you should be making this ball pretty much your best friend and sitting close to it as possible. Because if you let that ball out of your sight, then this happens, and bang, and even. So yeah. In the end, hopefully you didn't get mad at your teammate in that situation, because he couldn't do much about it. Alright, so kickoff, good enough that time. You don't screw it up by hitting the wrong side of the ball. That was fine. They got the 50-50 before your teammate could get the hit in. And not the best pass attempt ever. Main problem here is that you try to air roll instead of just keeping where you were. You didn't need to. You face plant into the wall and nothing comes from it. Here, just kind of take a bit too long to. Main problem I have is that you turned yourself the wrong way. Should be turning the other way to begin with, and that way you would have had a better angle on this. So you just take a bad ground shot. Really, once you see this and see that you can't take a good shot, just pop it onto the backboard if you can, or even pop it to your teammate up on that wall. That might have been better than just ground shotting it straight for your opponent. Alright, that was fine. You're just shadowing, seeing what was going on. All fine. And flip hacks get it. So, you know, good on him. I don't know why you're attacking that though. You make your teammate hesitate. Like, we'll just look from his perspective. He sees you he hears you coming up behind you, so he hesitates, sees you, thinks about it, and now the player's just been killed. You shouldn't be going for that. Like, you should be waiting center. Your teammate's got the momentum. You have to bring up your momentum with boost. So you end up wasting a bit of boost to do nothing. Like, you end up killing the momentum because you ended up spooking off your teammate. And that's enough. See what happens here. Okay, so not a goal, but very nearly. Well, you panic hit it into the center and you do about the worst thing you could as a defender. You pass it to the opponent and they very nearly double tap that and very nearly get a second shot at it. But, you know, that was good. Good work from you and your teammate. You get it out. Okay, so that was probably one of the open nets you were talking about. Right. This wasn't the bump the last man. Okay. So this was one open net. Okay, so fair enough. Okay. You get a decent pass and he screws it up. Main problem is that he doesn't give himself, he doesn't go straight in enough. Too much of an angle. And whiffs it. Oh well. Shit happens. 2-2. Plenty of time to bring it back, eh? Ooh, that wasn't very good. We'll see what happens there, just before I go back on it. Goal. Yep. Alright, so this was pretty much you set this up, so we'll look back on it. Well, main problem is that you don't really anticipate that the ball's going to bounce for some reason. So, you whiff it, basically. You may as well have whiffed it. And we'll look at flip hacks, what he does. He probably overcommits here, doesn't rotate in good enough. Yep, doesn't do a good enough rotation, doesn't give himself a good enough angle. Whiffs it, goal. So, team mistake there, overall. so kickoff pretty standard. In the end, you should be gunning for this hit. You shouldn't be hesitating like this. He was always going to go for that boost, and as a result, you probably got a bit madder considering that. And considering previous events, and also the message you sent. You probably were getting pretty mad by that, but, you know, in the end, no one but you to blame because you didn't take the advantage. That was a pretty decent clear there. I think you did just about the right thing. You set yourself up. You wouldn't have hit that ball, but, you know, you did alright. And that was a pretty good intercept overall. You know, teammate gets it nice, clear downfield, forces the opponent to clear across goal, and it's in. Got a bit of a pace on it. I think the main problem from you is that you didn't have enough urgency on getting back. You're pretty hell-bent on getting boost. The moment that this ball goes wrong like this, you should be going straight back, not going for boost, completely missing it anyway, and then letting the shot in. Sure, flip hacks. He screwed up this hit big time. We're not going to sugarcoat it here. He screwed this up because he jumped way too late. You, however, failed to get yourself back in time. So another team mistake. You also screwed up the kickoff, so that didn't help. But, yep, that's the end of that one. I'm going to guess this will be basically the end of the match unless you can get another miracle goal. This time you don't screw up the kickoff and you do bump the last man. I think this is the one you're referring to, so you are able to bump him. Fair play. Okay, so Flipax will whiff it. We'll see what he does here. Main problem is that he was anticipating the opponent to hit it. That's his main problem. It's not a great excuse, but nevertheless, that's what he is doing. He was waiting for it and he reacted a bit too slow. Yes, technically it was an open net, but he wasn't ready for it. This isn't like a game of comms where he knows you're going to go for a bump. So he was being ready, waiting for them to hit the ball so he could intercept it off the wall. And he didn't react in time. So, while it wasn't great what he did, in the end, he had a reason for it. He was anticipating a hit and it didn't come. Oh well, it happens. And you make a terrible recovery. Go back now. Okay. But yeah, basically, you did a pretty good bump, but yeah. Like I said, it wasn't a great excuse to be waiting for a hit, like angling like that, but you know, it is what it is. Moving on now, you go back, you grab boost, they try a ceiling hit, it fails badly, because most ceiling hits at this rank will always fail. Bit of a whifty there. You hit it into the center, pretty good, we'll see what Flip does. They just both whiff it, they don't anticipate the hit to go quite where they thought it would. And yeah, they whiff it. So, go to you, if it allows me, there we go, sweet. Alright, so, you're waiting now. Another terrible ceiling hit attempt, and a pretty terrible shot attempt by you to cap it off. What you should be doing is trying to either take control of this ball or hit it off a half volley, not hitting a full volley with 7 boosts left. That's recipe for disaster, and that screws up. You also go for a boost that doesn't exist anymore. 20 seconds left. You have probably 1 or 2 plays left in you. Unfortunately, your teammate gets dunked on. You completely whiff it. And you go for boost over ball once again, and this won't allow you to make any meaningful play. It'll be the end of the game here unless Landshark make a good shot. He almost does, actually. So, main problem there is that you go boost over ball, you don't try to get a half volley, which you should have gone for. And yeah, that's the end of that. You don't stay for that play, because what? Because at this point, you're a goal down with seconds left. Someone's going up for this. What do? You turn away. Why? they're not going to put a shot on goal from this angle. The one and only thing you should be doing is sitting under this ball and hoping he misses it, which he does eventually. But you should just be sitting under it, hoping that he misses it, so you can take control of the ball, because that's all you have, instead of waiting. And that wasn't the greatest shot by V-Flip. We'll admit again. Wasn't the greatest. He comes in for a bad angle, doesn't give himself enough time, doesn't actually control the ball, and it's a relatively easy save in the end. And that's the end of the game. Alright, so we're just gonna be to the point here. So, you felt like you played super well. I'm just gonna pop that little bubble there and say, no, that wasn't a super good game whatsoever. You made a hell of a lot of mistakes yourself. You actually missed a couple of open nets yourself. You failed to make a good pass on one occasion. Your save attempts were pretty subpar on a lot of occasions. A lot of weird decisions from you as well. You know, I'd say it was pretty much typical of your rank, to say the least. That was far from a super good game. And I'd say, despite points aren't everything, we'll just be there. We'll just be that guy. Points aren't everything, and in the end, I'd say you pretty much contributed more or less evenly. He gave you 2 assists, you put in 3 goals, you had a pretty good amount of shots between yourself. And really, those 2 saves you got, one of those barely count because you basically passed it to them on that occasion. So, yeah, that's pretty much my assessment of that. You both played pretty average, and in the end, 4-3. That's how it is. But honestly, it's pretty much what you said. Playing super well, you passed where you could, and all that crap. You that could be easily saying that V Flips could have said to you that you missed 2 open nets. He passed you when he could, and that you just couldn't hit a shot. Like, all of yours were basically point blank shots. So all of your goals are basically point blank shots. So yeah, no case, basically. That's what I would argue. You both had very little case, to say much. And in the end, I just think you should be concentrating on yourself, not bothering about what your teammate's doing. Because in the end, he pretty much did the same stuff you did. Missed some open nets, got a couple of blocks, got some passes. Not much more to say than that. Like, I'm just kind of filling for time here now. But yeah, we'll cover the 2 things that you actually asked for, which was rotation and boost management. In terms of rotation, just trying to think really. Your rotations honestly weren't terrible, but there were some occasions where you did near post, you didn't open up the angle enough. And that's something I see a lot. You just don't allow yourself enough at angle, and you decide to instead just cut in, take the closest angle possible, which means you make a terrible shot or a clear, and it results in bad stuff. But I think I pretty much covered all of your rotation issues throughout, so if I stayed to summarize it, I'd be writing a bleed paragraph on it, so I'm not really going to be doing that. But yeah, boost management, which I didn't really cover too much, go for more small boosts. That is pretty much it. Like, if you go for more small boosts, you won't be taking such long trips for large boost like you're doing. You spend a lot of time tracking down large boost, and sometimes so long that you completely miss an opportunity to get a large boost that was actually closer and would have been more beneficial. The way you used your boost wasn't really too bad. I didn't find too many complaints with it. It was just how you collected your boost. That was pretty much the main concern. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I don't have anything to add. I've done basically everything I wanted to. So yeah, if you need any more clarification, feel free to DM either me or the other coaches in Discord if I'm not online. I'm sure they're more than happy to help. But yeah, until then, hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.